Have you ever felt like you're living a life limited not by your circumstances or by others, but by your own thoughts, as if your mind is holding back the potential inside you? If you've ever wondered why you can't seem to move forward, the answer isn't a lack of talent, it's a lack of discipline. There's a thin line between an average person and someone who is unstoppable. That line isn't luck, it isn't natural talent, it all comes down to one thing: discipline. And when you learn to train discipline like a muscle, that's the moment you begin stepping into a completely different level. Have you ever asked yourself why some people can easily overcome adversity, while others collapse under pressure? Have you ever seen someone fall time and time again, yet still get back up and keep moving forward, and wondered what makes them so strong? Meanwhile, others give up at the first small obstacle. The answer doesn't come from luck or from circumstances. It comes from something invisible but deeply powerful: mental strength. That strength is what clearly separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. And here's the first thing you need to know: no one is born with it. No one comes into this world with an unbreakable mindset. Mental strength isn't a gift reserved for a few special people. It's the result of training. Yet most people don't realize this. They think resilience is something only naturally confident or gifted individuals have. But the truth is, that's just a comforting lie. The strongest, calmest people you see facing challenges were once weak too. They were afraid. They wanted to give up like everyone else. The only difference is they didn't let those feelings stop them. They chose to train. They chose to push through. They chose not to let themselves be defeated. And if you're willing to stay with me until the end of this video, you will learn how to build a mind that cannot be broken. A mind that stands firm in adversity, that doesn't waver in failure, that doesn't stop at rejection, and that no one can stop from moving forward. But before we get into that, let's be honest about something. Most people remain weak, not because they lack the ability to be strong, but because they choose not to train. Just like muscles need exercise to grow, the mind needs pressure to evolve. But instead of facing discomfort, many choose to avoid it. They run from hard things, seek ease, and wish for a comfortable life. And by doing so, they strip themselves of the very experiences that could have made them stronger. Weakness, though it may feel like instinct, is actually a choice. Every time you back down from fear, you are choosing weakness. Every time you let doubt make your decisions, you are choosing weakness. Every time you make an excuse instead of taking action, you're reinforcing weakness again. But here's the good news. Just as weakness is a choice, so is strength. And it all begins with one decision. The decision to take control of your own mind. From the moment you make that choice, everything begins to change. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you own. It can push you further than you ever imagined, or it can hold you back. It can drive you forward or make you retreat. It can help you break through every limitation or stop you before you even try. Sadly, most people never truly take control of their minds. They live by emotion, driven by negative thoughts, by that inner voice of doubt, and by the silent fears that shape their every choice. Have you ever felt that way? That moment you wanted to do something great, but you stopped yourself because you were afraid of failing? How many times have you walked away from opportunity simply because a voice in your head whispered, "I'm not good enough"? Your mind is a battlefield, and most people lose the fight before they even know they're in one. But those with mental strength are different. They know the battle is real, and they refuse to let their minds become the enemy. They rise every day not because they are fearless, but because they refuse to let fear control their lives. That is the first step to building unshakable inner strength. Change your mind before you change your life. Strength doesn't begin in the body, it begins within. With a firm decision, no more excuses, no more giving in. It's time to rise and reclaim control. Mental strength is not pretending you don't feel fear or doubt. It's moving forward in spite of it. It's about training your mind to endure, to persevere, and to never back down, even when everything around you seems to push you back. But here's the problem. Most people keep waiting. They wait for the right time, wait for inspiration, wait for certainty, wait for a push from somewhere outside. They delay taking action because they believe they're not confident enough, not motivated enough, or not ready. But here's a simple truth: you will never feel completely ready. If you keep waiting for perfect conditions, you'll be waiting forever. Mentally strong people don't wait. They take action even when their hearts are trembling. They move forward even when doubt lingers in their minds. They don't wait for their emotions to agree. They act, and that very act is proof that they are stronger than their own excuses. And now, I have a challenge for you. Right now, you are standing between two choices. One is to keep living as you have, letting your mind control you, letting fear steer your life, letting weakness hold you in your comfort zone. The other is to make a decision to become stronger. And if you are truly serious about this journey of transformation, if you are ready to build a mind that cannot be broken, then keep walking with me. Because in the next part, we are going to explore the deepest layers of the psychology of mental strength. And by the end of this journey, I believe you will not only think differently, you will become a completely new version of yourself. Many people don't realize one simple truth. Your mind is what's quietly shaping the reality you're living in. Every thought, every belief, every tiny piece of doubt is laying the foundation of your life, hour by hour, day by day. If you keep telling yourself that you're weak, then sooner or later, you will start acting like someone who is. If you keep saying you can't handle pressure, you'll crumble the moment it shows up. Your mind will believe whatever you tell it often enough. And here's a truth that might shake you. Weakness is not who you truly are. It's what you have allowed to exist. No one is born mentally weak. No one is destined to be fragile. Weakness is created, just like strength is built through habits, through choices, and through the things you repeat every single day. Pause for a moment and think about this. Every time you avoid a challenge, you're teaching your mind that avoidance is safe. Every time you let fear stop you, you're reinforcing the belief that you're not capable. Every time you quit, you're showing yourself that giving up is an acceptable option. And over time, weakness becomes the default mode in your mind without you even realizing you're choosing it. But the moment you become aware of this is when everything can begin to change. Because if weakness was something you learned, then it can also be unlearned. If a weak mind is created through avoidance, excuses, and fear, then a strong mind is built differently through discipline, through action, through unwavering resolve, and courageous persistence. What matters most is that you stop seeing weakness as a permanent trait. It's not your identity, it's not your destiny, it's just a mental habit. And habits can be changed. You have the power to start over. You have the ability to reprogram your thinking, rebuild your mental strength, and reshape how you see yourself. But it all starts with one simple decision. The decision to stop feeding your weakness and start feeding your strength. So ask yourself honestly, are you letting your mind work against you? Or are you training it to stand with you? Because the moment you take back control, the process of transformation begins. And the only remaining question is this. Do you have the courage to take that first step? Or will you stay exactly where you are? Most people fear pain. They avoid it like it's a deadly disease. They see struggle as something to escape from, as if hardship is a punishment handed down by life. But that very mindset is what makes them weaker every single day. Because in truth, pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It is the silent companion that never lies. Look at anyone who has ever achieved greatness. Do you think they reached success by avoiding difficulty? No, they were forged by it. The pain, the rejection, the failures, the setbacks, all of it shaped them. Instead of collapsing, they used those moments to rebuild themselves. Every failure became a lesson. Every moment of doubt became fuel. They saw what most people never do. Pain is the price of strength. You cannot grow when life is always easy. You only mature when life challenges you. Pressure creates diamonds. Resistance builds muscle. And fire is what forges the strongest steel. Your mind is no different. It needs challenge. It needs impact. It needs struggle to evolve into a stronger version of itself. But the truth is, most people don't want that. They want life to be smooth, comfortable, and safe. They want to avoid problems, avoid confrontation, and avoid risk. And because of that, they never change. Growth and comfort cannot exist in the same space. The moment you choose an easy life, you also turn your back on strength. Mental strength is never born in peace. It is forged when you step into the fire, when you choose to face the battle instead of running from it. Those who become unstoppable did not have an easy life. They were simply the ones who learned how to turn pain into fuel. They understand one thing: pain doesn't break you, it builds you. So when life knocks you down, when everything feels overwhelming, when the thought of giving up begins to rise within you, remember this: every struggle is an invitation to rise. Every moment of pain is a test of courage. Will you let it crush you, or will you use it to lift yourself to a higher level? Because in the end, strength is not something anyone gives you. It's something you earn through every wound, every comeback, and every time you refuse to surrender. Pain is not the enemy. It is the path that leads you to the greatness you were made for. Emotions are powerful. They can lift you up or drag you down. They can blur your judgment, distort your decisions, and make you feel like you're on the wrong path. But remember this: emotions do not have the authority to rule you. They can influence, but you are the one who makes the final decision. A weak mind lets emotions take the wheel. They work only when they feel like it. They quit when they're tired. They hide when they're afraid. And they end up trapped in a never-ending loop, where emotions speak first, actions follow, and goals are left behind. But those with mental strength are different. They understand one simple but powerful truth: emotions are temporary, but decisions are permanent. They don't wait for their emotions to settle. They take action even when everything inside feels chaotic. They don't wait for inspiration to move. They move. And along the way, they create inspiration through action. Have you ever asked yourself, if you only work hard when you feel motivated, how many times a year will you actually give your best? If you only take action when your mood is right, how many opportunities have passed you by while you waited for the perfect moment? Strength doesn't come from the moments when everything feels right. It's built in the moments when you want to stop but choose to keep going. When your mind tells you to rest, but you rise anyway. When fear whispers step back, and you take another step forward. When doubt says you can't, and you quietly prove that you can. That is the clear line between the weak and the strong. The weak follow their emotions. The strong lead their emotions. They don't pretend they aren't afraid, but they don't allow fear to guide their life. They don't deny emotions, but they don't let emotions dictate their behavior. So the real question is, are you controlling your emotions, or are your emotions controlling you? The moment you reclaim the power to act independently of your feelings is the moment you enter a new level of mental strength that very few ever reach. And from there, you begin to become unstoppable. To reach that level, there is one skill you must master above all others: self-discipline. Without it, you will always be a slave to your emotions, to your old habits, and to the excuses you create for yourself each day. But with it, you can make yourself do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. This is what causes most people to fail. They wait for inspiration. They wait for motivation. But motivation is unpredictable. One day it's there, the next day it's gone. If you only work when you feel motivated, you'll never maintain consistency. And without consistency, success will always remain out of reach. Discipline is different. It doesn't care how you feel today. Tired? Do it anyway. Not inspired? Do it anyway. Scared? Keep going. Mentally strong people understand that results don't come from feelings. They come from action. Discipline is when you get out of bed every morning even when your mind begs you to sleep a little longer. It's when you show up to the gym even when your body wants to stay home. It's when you keep working through exhaustion. It's when every part of you wants to quit, but you keep pushing forward. And yes, it's never easy. It will never be easy. But that is the very nature of discipline. If discipline were easy, everyone would have it. Everyone would be successful, consistent, and living the life they desire. But reality doesn't work that way. Because discipline is the line between those who succeed and those who quit. And then, the question becomes crystal clear. Can you force yourself to take action when it's the last thing you feel like doing? Because that is the clearest distinction between someone with inner strength and someone who is weak. The weak listen to their excuses. The strong ignore them. The weak wait for inspiration. The strong create it through action. And here's the fascinating part. The more you train your discipline, the less you need motivation. It becomes instinct. It becomes part of who you are. A habit that no longer requires thought. And when you reach that level, nothing will be able to stop you. Not fear, not doubt, not temporary failure. Because confidence is not something you're given. It's something you build. No one is born full of confidence. Every strong person you see had to prove to themselves over and over again that they could do it. Confidence comes from action, from facing challenges, from doing things you've never done, from failing and still standing up again. Many people believe that confidence comes from the outside. They think that only when others recognize them will they be able to believe in themselves. But that's just a mask. True confidence doesn't come from how others see you. It comes from within. From knowing deep down that no matter what happens, you can face it, overcome it, and keep going. So how do you develop that kind of lasting confidence? You need to build a solid foundation to nurture confidence and take control of your mind. The first step is a vital push. Stop waiting for permission. Too many of us live as if we're standing in line, waiting for someone to come along and say, now you're good enough. Now you can begin. They wait for external validation instead of making their own decisions. But mentally strong people don't do that. They don't wait for permission, they act. They accept risk, step into the unknown. And it's through that action that confidence begins to form. It doesn't appear while you're standing still. It shows up when you take the step, even when you're unsure. Next comes another important lesson. Take action even before you feel ready. Confidence doesn't come before action. It is built through action. The more you do, the more you prove to yourself, I can. Every challenge you overcome, every fear you face, every obstacle you rise above, they all silently strengthen the foundation of your confidence. And the final step in building deep trust in yourself is this: stop seeking approval. The strongest people don't need anyone's validation. They don't rely on other people's opinions to determine their worth. While weak minds crave agreement, strong minds focus on results. The more you depend on others to feel valuable, the more fragile you become. True confidence doesn't mean being fearless or doubt-free. It means having the courage to act despite fear and doubt. The moment you stop waiting for the feeling of being ready is the moment you start building an unshakable belief in yourself. And once that belief takes root, nothing in this world can stop you. Because it all begins in the mind. Your thoughts shape your reality. Every action, every decision, every success or failure stems from how you think. If you truly want to become strong from the inside out, you have to learn to control your thoughts before they control you. Unfortunately, most people allow negative thoughts to rule them in silence. They replay failures in their minds. They torment themselves over imperfections. They let fear and self-doubt slowly erode their progress. But here's the truth. You are not your thoughts. Just because a negative thought enters your mind doesn't mean you have to believe it. You have the power to choose which thoughts deserve your attention and which ones don't. The mind is a battlefield. And if you let negativity take over, you'll lose before you even begin. But if you learn to recognize and remove self-destructive thoughts, you will gradually regain control. So how do you train yourself to do that? Step 1, become aware of your inner self-talk. Many people don't even realize that they are speaking negatively to themselves every single day. Pay close attention to your thoughts. Every time you hear that familiar phrase, I can't, replace it with, I will find a way. Whenever you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, switch it to, I'm improving every day. Step 2, don't feed your doubts. Doubt grows stronger when you constantly give it space in your mind. The more you focus on what might go wrong, the more fear grows inside you. So shift your focus. Instead of thinking about failure, think about the possibilities. Instead of obsessing over the problem, direct your mind towards solutions. Step 3, strengthen your mindset daily. Mental strength isn't built in a single breakthrough moment, but through steady repetition. Just like training your body, you have to train your mind. Read, learn, challenge yourself. Step outside your comfort zone. Get your mind used to receiving strength, not weakness. Remember this, you are not a victim of your thoughts, you are the master of them. The moment you take control of what's going on inside, you begin to take control of your entire life. And when that happens, nothing, not fear, not failure, not doubt can block your path. But life is never simple. It never unfolds in a perfect sequence. There will be setbacks. There will be obstacles. There will be moments when you feel completely lost, unsure of what comes next. And it is in these moments that the difference between the strong and the weak begins to reveal itself clearly. Those with mental strength adapt. while the weak fall apart. Most people fear change. They resist it, complain about it, and let it drain them. But those with true inner strength do not react that way. They embrace change as a natural part of the journey. They know life is unpredictable. And instead of fighting reality, they adjust, they learn, and they grow. Think about it. How many people have given up just because things didn't go their way? How many turned back just because they hit a few bumps in the road? It's not a lack of ability. It's a lack of adaptability. It's not knowing how to move forward, not daring to pivot, not willing to find another way. The truth is, no path is perfect. No plan is flawless. If you always expect life to go exactly the way you imagined, you will constantly be disappointed. So instead of clinging to an ideal picture, choose to become flexible. Train your mind to face whatever comes your way. And to begin that journey, you must take the first step. Stop denying reality. Hardship is certain. Challenges are inevitable. You can't remove them, but you can decide how you will face them. The sooner you stop expecting life to be easy and start working with what you have, the closer you'll get to the real strength that lies within you. When you choose to begin building mental strength, the first thing you must remember is this: avoidance doesn't bring peace, and comfort doesn't lead to growth. To become strong, you have to be willing to face discomfort and adapt. Because only when you learn how to adjust can you move forward. And to adapt effectively, you need to train yourself to shift your focus from the problem to the solution. Weak minds often drown in complaints. They get stuck in everything that went wrong, everything that didn't meet expectations, and they trap themselves in a cycle of negativity. But mentally strong individuals think differently. They know complaining gets them nowhere. Instead of asking, "Why me?" they ask, "What can I do next?" And that question opens the door to action and transformation. Next, you must develop a resilient mindset. Resilience is not just the ability to endure pain, but the capacity to keep walking forward even when the road ahead is foggy. It's about moving forward even after you've stumbled, even when you're hurting, even when you feel lost. Every failure is a test. Every obstacle is an invitation to prove your true strength. And the moment you shift the question in your mind from, "Why is this happening to me?" to, "What can I learn from this?" you will no longer be the same person. You will become unstoppable. Nothing in life is certain. But there is one thing I dare to say with confidence. Those who know how to adapt will move forward. Those who stubbornly resist reality will break. In the end, the choice is yours. Will you bend and rise through the storm, or let the waves sweep everything away? Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they give up too early. They stop when things get tough. They turn back before results even have a chance to appear. And more sadly, they quit when they are only one step away from the finish line. But mentally strong people don't operate that way. They understand that true strength lies in persistence. Endurance is a precious quality. It's not about resignation, but the ability to keep moving forward even when everything inside you wants to give up. It's when you continue walking, even though the path feels endless, when the results are nowhere to be seen and your energy is nearly depleted. That's the line that separates the strong from the weak. The weak stop when they are tired. The strong stop only when they are finished. Look back at history. Every great achievement was built by people who refused to quit. Whether they were athletes, leaders, or entrepreneurs, all of them went through moments of deep self-doubt, but they kept going. They walked through the pain, overcame the obstacles, and because they didn't surrender, they succeeded. So how can you build that kind of perseverance? The first step is to stop expecting instant results. A weak mind always wants success to show up immediately. But the strong understand that real progress is a process. You have to learn how to work without needing an immediate reward. Learn to keep going even when no one praises you, when no one notices. True strength is built in that quiet, consistent effort. The second step is to train yourself to get comfortable with discomfort. Pain is a part of progress. Struggle is part of growth. Once you accept that challenge is inevitable, it stops being so frightening. While others run away, you step in. While others hide from pain, you face it head on. And then you'll realize pain doesn't destroy you, it shapes you. The final step is to make quitting non-negotiable. Weakness will always whisper an escape. It will say, "Just give up. It's okay." You've done enough. But if you want to win, you have to eliminate the exit. Decide that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how slow it feels, you will not give up. And you'll be surprised at how much endurance you truly have. Success doesn't belong to the one who starts the strongest. It belongs to the one who lasts the longest. So when things get difficult, what will you do? Will you stop or will you keep going? That answer will shape your destiny, but there is a silent enemy that quietly blocks many people on their journey to strength. That enemy is self-doubt. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It tells you that you're not good enough. It tells you to stay where you are. It warns you not to take risks, not to trust yourself. And if you listen to it for too long, you'll never step outside the box it built for you. The dangerous thing is, many people think doubt is a sign they should stop. They think that if they don't feel confident, then they shouldn't do anything at all. But that's a huge mistake, because confidence doesn't come first. Action comes first. You act, and then confidence follows. Pause and think carefully. How many times have you let doubt steal an opportunity from you? How many times have you walked away from a dream because you didn't believe you could do it? Every time you listen to doubt, you shrink. But every time you overcome it, you grow. So how do you break out of that toxic loop? First, you must stop believing every thought in your head. Your mind will tell you that you're not smart enough, not strong enough, not capable enough. But thoughts are not always true. Just because they echo in your head doesn't mean they're facts. Second, take action before you feel ready. Doubt loses its grip when you prove with your own actions that you can do it. Start even if you're unsure. Take the step even if your heart is racing. Speak up even if your voice shakes. And finally, look back at what you've already overcome. How many challenges have you faced? How many times did you think you wouldn't make it, but you did? How many wounds have already healed? All of those things are proof that you are stronger than you think. The problem is you've simply forgotten that strength. Mental strength doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from the decision to act, even while you're still afraid. And one of the most persistent, silent battles everyone must fight is the battle against self-doubt. That doubt never truly disappears. It lingers like a small voice, whispering in your mind every time you're about to do something bold. But here's the interesting part. Each time you choose action instead of retreat, each time you move forward, even with hesitation in your heart, you're weakening that voice. And one day, you'll realize something powerful. That voice that used to say, "You can't," was never telling the truth. In today's fast-moving world, patience has become a rare virtue. People want instant success, overnight results, recognition without consistent effort. But the truth is, nothing truly great happens in the blink of an eye. If you want to build real mental strength, you must master the art of patience. When results don't come fast enough, many lose motivation. They begin with blazing fire, but that fire fades when progress seems slow. They expect everything to come easily, and when it doesn't, they quit. Not because they lack ability, but because they lack the endurance to wait, pause, and reflect. How many times have you started something with enthusiasm, only to give up because the results took longer than expected? How many times have you doubted your direction simply because you didn't see immediate change? The problem wasn't the path, it was the lack of patience to stay the course. So how do you develop this precious quality? Step 1. Shift your focus from speed to endurance. Don't ask, "How far have I gone?" Ask, "Am I still moving forward?" A small step every day is more powerful than a giant leap, followed by burnout. Progress isn't about how fast, but how steady. Step 2. Learn to love the journey itself. If you're only fixated on the destination, you'll end up disappointed and drained. But when you learn to appreciate each step, every lesson, and every challenge, you begin to see that the process itself is what shapes you. Success is not just the destination, it's who you become on the way. Step 3. Believe in the power of accumulation. Every small action, whether it's training, learning, or waiting patiently, is quietly building strength inside you. The issue is, most people quit just before the results appear. They walk away when change is right at the door. Meanwhile, the successful ones are those who never stop. They keep going, again and again, and one day, everything pays off. The truth is, anything worth having takes time. There's no shortcut to real strength. So the question is, do you have the patience to wait? Do you have the endurance to keep going even when nothing seems to change? Do you have the faith to move forward even when the path is unclear? If your answer is yes, then you're walking a path few are willing to choose. And for that reason, you will reach places that most never will. But remember this too. You're not just defined by your strengths, you are also defined by how you deal with your weaknesses. And if there are habits in your life that silently drain your strength, then no matter how hard you try, you're still carrying a weight that holds you back. If you truly want to build unshakable mental strength, you need to look directly at the things that quietly make you weaker. And then, you must remove them with firm intention. So what are the habits that are quietly making you more fragile each day? First, choosing comfort over growth. A weak mind always picks the easy path. It avoids challenges, avoids fear, and stays inside the comfort zone. But you cannot grow if you never leave what's comfortable. Strength is forged in difficulty. Strong people are the ones who choose the hard thing, even when they don't feel like it. Second, letting emotions drive decisions. There will be days when you're tired, sluggish, doubtful, or just want to give up. And if you let your emotions take over, you'll get swept away by them. But mentally strong people are different. They don't act based on feelings. They act based on what's right. Discipline is their compass, not temporary emotion. Third, seeking excuses instead of taking responsibility. When you blame your circumstances, you're handing over your power. When you play the victim, you strip away your ability to change. Strong people don't run from responsibility. They own it, face it, and adjust even when life is unfair. Fourth, wasting time on meaningless things. A weak mind is often drawn to what is easy, the phone, social media, short-term entertainment. Meanwhile, mentally strong people know how to protect their time. They prioritize what truly matters because they understand that every passing minute is a piece of their life being exchanged for something. They do not allow their time to be consumed by things that do not bring them closer to their goals. And here's a hard truth to accept. If you do not eliminate your weak habits, they will eliminate the powerful potential within you. So, begin by looking honestly at yourself. What behaviors are keeping you stuck? What habits are silently destroying the strength you are trying to build? We've said that discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, you will remain in place, letting emotions take over, letting distractions pull you away, and letting your weaknesses quietly define who you are. Now is the time to look closely at your life and ask, what is currently holding you back? Be honest with yourself. Are there habits pulling you down? Are there actions, even small ones, that are silently weakening your willpower? Do not underestimate the power of the choices you repeat every day. They are either feeding your strength or nurturing your stagnation. And if you do not actively remove those weaknesses, they will quietly sabotage the great potential inside you. Talent is a gift, but it means nothing without effort. You can be the smartest person in the room, but if you are not willing to work, you will lose to the one who is ready to sweat, step out of their comfort zone, and show up with persistence every single day. Hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard. If you want a strong mind, you must build an unshakable work ethic. There are no shortcuts to endurance. Weak minds always look for the shortest, least painful, most comfortable path. They want results without effort. They want success without sacrifice. But strong people think differently. They understand that on the path to greatness, there is no negotiating with effort. There is only discipline, commitment, and consistent repetition every day. Think about this. How many people have you heard talking about their big dreams, yet they never take action? They speak endlessly about what they want, but they never have the consistency to pursue it. The moment things get hard, they stop. They wait for some magical inspiration, a perfect day to start, instead of simply relying on discipline and doing what needs to be done. So how do you build a work ethic that cannot be shaken? The first step is to stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is not something you should rely on. It comes and goes like the wind. If you only work when you feel like it, you will never have consistency. Mentally strong people understand that results come not from bursts of emotion, but from steady action. They show up every day, even when they are tired, even when they are bored, even when they have no motivation left. The second step is to train discipline every single day. Success is not some miracle that happens overnight. It is the result of small actions repeated consistently over time. Strong people create habits, stick to them, and act even when their minds are screaming for a break. They know that emotions can be shaky, but discipline must remain steady. The third step is to push past your limits. Weak people stop when they feel tired. Strong people keep going even when their body and mind want to give up. Every time you feel like stopping, that is the golden moment to train your inner strength. Push a little more, hold on one more minute. It is in those very moments that mental steel is forged. Not when you feel good, but when you learn to endure what is uncomfortable. Hard work is the price you pay for every great dream. So the question is, are you willing to pay that price? Because if you truly are, then nothing can stop you. Discipline is not just a requirement for success. It is the factor that determines whether or not you can take control of your life. Without it, emotions will overpower reason. Distractions will steal your time. Small weaknesses will build up into cracks that pull you further from your goals. When you lack discipline, every morning feels like a battle. You know what you should do, but you don't do it. You want to change, but the habit of procrastination holds you back. You set goals, but never truly commit to action. And that is exactly how failure begins. In contrast, mentally strong people don't let emotions dictate their actions. They don't wait to feel right before they start. They know exactly what needs to be done, and they do it regardless of how they feel. They don't let their phones, social media, or external distractions control their schedule. They manage their time, stay laser focused, and lock their minds on the goals they've chosen. So how do you build that level of discipline? Step 1. Start by doing what's hard. Don't choose the easy road. Weak people constantly look for ways to escape discomfort. Strong people push themselves into challenges. Every day, take one step outside your comfort zone. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. And like any muscle, if you ignore it, it will slowly weaken. Step 2. Set non-negotiable standards. Who do you want to become? Visualize that version of yourself clearly. Then live as that person, no matter the conditions, no matter the emotions, no matter the circumstances. No excuses, no delays, no backing down. Write your standards on your wall if you have to, and never break the promises you make to yourself. Step 3. Learn to delay gratification. This is one of the clearest signs of mental strength. Weak people are constantly drawn to instant pleasure. A quick scroll on the phone, a snack they don't need, a distraction that steals their time. But strong people understand that the greatest rewards require patience. They are willing to say no to what they want right now so they can gain something greater in the future. Without discipline, you'll always be controlled by something. Emotions, habits, distractions, fear. But when you master yourself, you master your entire life. And the biggest question you need to answer is this: will you control your life, or will you let life control you? Everything you need to become mentally strong already exists within you. The ability to endure, the resilience, the persistence, the inner will to rise through hardship, it's all there. The only thing standing between you and your strongest self is your willingness to act. Will you step up, or will you continue to let procrastination and comfort take the lead? The truth is, most people never reach their true potential. Not because they're incapable, but because they're unwilling to change. They stay trapped in their comfort zone, a place where no growth ever happens. They let fear control their dreams. They let emotions decide their direction. And because of that, they remain stuck. But those who rise above, those who become unstoppable, are the ones who dare to say no to weakness. They choose to train their mind every day. They face pain, learn from adversity, and wield discipline like a sharpened sword as they move forward. If you've made it this far with me, it means you're serious. It means something deep inside you is ready to break through. By now, you understand that your mind is your most powerful weapon, but only if you train it. Pain is your greatest teacher, but only if you dare to learn. Discipline is your greatest strength, but only if you choose to use it. So here's the final question for this section. Will you let what you've just learned fade away, or will you start changing today? The road ahead won't be easy, but that's exactly why it's worth it.